Greetings once again, pirates on the high seas. Duuz-Diz-Din back at it again with One Piece. Previously, Luffy and Zoro found themselves going face to face with two of the Seraphim, unable to be controlled by any of the other Vegapunk. We also find out S-Hawk has the powers of the Dice fruit. And after hearing Nami scream, Luffy and Zoro realize that they can't really stick around here. They need to make sure their friends are okay. And with the Seraphim also after CP0, Luffy comes to the conclusion to free Lucci and Kaku, with Luffy making sure that Lucci knows that if he wants to go after anyone, he needs to go after Luffy first, basically goading Lucci into making Luffy his top priority. And so the two team up against S-Bear, while Zoro and Kaku team up against S-Hawk. Meanwhile, we find out that Vegapunk has been brought to a specific location where we find the other Cypher Pole agents all in prison, with one of the agents telling Vegapunk that they had been attacked by the Sea Beast cyborgs and imprisoned there for months, with Vegapunk saying he had no knowledge of this. The world government, meanwhile, has dispatched 100 ships to Egghead. And to top off such a hectic chapter, we find out that the red-haired pirates are in Elbaf, having a party with the giant warrior pirate, welcoming back Dorian Brogy, as well as Oimo and Kashin. But Shanks has to get ready, as the kid pirates are making their way to Elbaf, and so Shanks sends a message, a battle for the road poneglyph. There are clashes happening all across the world. Things are escalating more and more, as the Yonko are on the move. Who will rise and who will fall from these battles? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, One Piece chapter 1077. Should have noticed sooner. Maybe that's Vegapunk saying that? We also have German 66 an Emotionless Excursion, volume 32. Actually, I think our real problem is Vegapunk. Basically, they've beaten each other to a stalemate, but then realized that, no, the person we actually have a gripe against is Vegapunk, not so much each other. I guess it's because they were always trying to outdo each other for number 2, but why settle for that, you know? Alright, we pick up at the Fabriophage on Egghead, where Sentomaru seems to be talking with the researchers, saying, listen up all of you, I want every one of you to get off this island. The people say, huh? What are you talking about, Sentomaru? I don't understand. What is happening on Egghead? Why did you deploy the pacifistas all over the island? Sentomaru, still slumped over, but it looks like he's been bandaged up, says, years ago, a place called Ohara vanished from all the world maps overnight. Oh, he's actually telling them, because they dared to defy the world government. And we have the narrator coming on talking about an Ohara incident refresher. The island of Ohara, home to the world's largest historical library, committed the crime of attempting to decipher the poneglyphs, an act forbidden by the world government, and as a result, a navy bombardment wiped out all of the scholars and residents, leaving young Nico Robin as the sole survivor. Olivia looking mighty cute in that picture too. And so is little Robin. I feel like my narrator voice is getting better. Sentomaru tells the people, if they're trying to kill Punk, who has the biggest brains in the entire world, they probably concluded that he must be erased, regardless of the cost to scientific progress, which means that something even worse than what happened then could be about to happen here, now. The people are shocked, going, huh? Yep, death is coming to Egghead. Unless maybe they can detach the Labophage and just use it as a Sky Island and get out of there. Sentomaru looks up, thinking, hurry, Straw Hat. What's happening up there? Oh, they're still going at it. Okay, previously, I thought those team-up attacks took out the two Seraphim, S-Hawk and S-Bear. But no, this is continuing on, with Luffy questioning what's with these guys. Luffy goes in with Gear 4 with Kong Organ Gun, while Lucci goes in his hybrid form using Hand Pistol, Yellow Lotus, and they both unleash their attacks against S-Bear, while Kaku goes in on S-Hawk with Tempest Kick, which is easily dodged by S-Hawk. He then goes in with Slaughter, with sending mass flurry of strikes in against S-Hawk, who manages to block all of them. So Zoro goes in with his signature attack sometimes, especially when he goes up against like particularly tough opponents. His one sword style, Ia, Death Lion Song, which managed to, cut into S-Hawk. Oh, but S-Bear and S-Hawk, they're roughed up, but they're just kind of brushing themselves off. Luffy, now back to normal, says, "Huh? You can't keep getting up like this. Knock it off already. Who are you, Kaido?" And the looks from everyone, it looks like they've been going at it for a while, too. Gee. Zoro, also kind of out of breath. I think everyone's out of breath. Jeez. Zoro says, "That reminds me. They seem kind of similar to King, the guy I fought in Wano." Shaka questions, "Kaido's pirate crew had a Lunarian?" Zoro simply says, "Well, I don't know what he was called." Shaka says, "Interesting. Then I would surmise that he must be Albert, the test subject who escaped from Punk Hazard with Kaido. The Seraphim are augmented with none other than his Lunarian blood." Zoro says, "Oh, I didn't realize. In that case, watch the flames on their back. Your attacks won't do any damage unless the flames are out." Everyone says, "Huh?" Zoro says, "They're basically invincible when the fire is on. Sorry, I just wasted a bunch of our stamina. I should have noticed sooner." You think? Man, Zoro, you are just as absent-minded as Zoro sometimes. Lucci says, "No, this helps. Now we can actually fight it." Zoro then says, "King's notable features are white hair, brown skin, black wings, flames on his back." Kaku, Luffy, and Lucci are all pissed saying you should have noticed sooner. It's like, it's very obvious. I think what kills me the most is even Luffy's a pissed off. Like, dude, come on, man. Oh, man, that was good. That was actually pretty good. And they're all wheezing like, God, freaking gonna have an aneurysm over here, man. Oh, it looks like Shaka's walking away, and Luffy questions, "Where are you going, Helmet?" Shaka says, "I have an idea of where the Stella might be." Interesting. I guess S-Hawk sees an opportunity and tries to attack Shaka, only to be blocked by Zoro, who says, "Stay out of this. We're in a hurry here." We then cut to the third floor, building A, where Nami, and a glorious butt shot, is unleashing Zeus, saying, "Here we go, Zeus." Zeus says, "I'm ready." And she's going up against S-Shark. Nami calls out, "He's not a child," which I understand. Nami's not one to fight against children. Oh, we also see that Brook has been attacked and his head has fallen off. But we know that's okay. It looks like his helmet was damaged too. And Edison, well, anyone who thought Edison was the traitor, he is not looking so great. Brook says he hurt our friend and half destroyed. Oh no, Nami is saying this about Brook, saying he hurt our friend and half destroyed Edison. He's a killing machine. He's not cute. He's not a child. Oh, Nami's trying to justify it to herself. Oh, poor Nami. And Zeus says, "That's right, Nami. Don't hesitate. Close your eyes if you need to. Just shoot me out and I'll do all the rest." Lightning blast! And then the same move that took out Ulti previously, Zeus runs right through S-Shark, electrocuting him. Oh, it actually looks like she managed to take him out with that attack. Oh, Nami leans down and starts kind of weeping, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, Jinbei." But then S-Shark sinks into the ground. And Brook says, "Bloosh." Brook picks up his head and puts it on his shoulders, getting up and readying his sword, saying, "He sank it under again, didn't he? Look out, Nami. He'll come up from below." And Nami realizes too late as she glances behind her. And Zeus is shocked, saying that didn't work, as S-Shark comes bursting out from under the ground, grabbing onto Nami. And as Brook prepares an attack, Abede, he stops, saying, "Oh," and you see an invisible figure moving towards S-Shark, which I already know who it is because of the giant panel right below it. As the figure says, Article 1 of the Sanji Tuition, "He who scares Nami gets death." Article 9 of the Sanji Tuition, "He who makes Nami scream gets raw heat strike." And Sanji just, with anger and fury in his eyes, double kicks S-Shark, sending him flying. Nami calls out to Sanji, who kneels down to the kneeling Nami, saying, "Are you hurt, Nami? Don't worry, I'll finish him off." He then turns to S-Shark and says, "I warned you, you little brat." He's weeping, I guess because of how fast he was going. I don't care if you're a kid or Jinbei. You get the death penalty, Jinbei Jr. So it's funny too because, Nami's weaknesses are children, but she will strike back at him to defend herself. Whereas Sanji is different. Hey, wait, was his brow curled the other way? Weird, so I guess when he's full Germa mode, his brow curls the other direction. Weird. So it's like a switch he can flip on. It's not that he's constantly in Germa mode, but can he switch between them? Freaky. Yeah, because, the panels are right next to each other. And one panel where he's angry is swirled the other way. And then when he's given that look, that death look, like I'm gonna fuck you up, it's swirled the other way. Weird. We then cut to the third floor of Building C with Usopp's group, where Lilith calls out, "You'll pay for turning York to stone." And she unleashes her bubble gun against S-Snake Seraphim, who is rushing in. The S-Snake Seraphim manages to dodge. Oh no, it grazed her. I think it caught S-Snake's arm. And Usopp says, "Hey, that didn't do a..." But then S-Snake falls to the ground, just flopping over. Even S-Snake looks perplexed by it, like, what happened? Lilith says with a smile, "These bubbles are made out of sea energy." Oh, that green blood gives you the benefit of powers and the risk. These bubbles are your weakness. Oh snap. So they had a way of dealing with devil fruit users already. Oh man, I hope they didn't mass produce these things. Now, that is an incredible way of dealing with devil fruit users. Usopp and Pythagoras call out, "Wow, you're killing it, Lilith." And Lilith strikes a pose. I love it. Going hee hee. Meanwhile, Frankie tries to go in to grab S-Snake, saying, "Hold her down while we got the chance." But S-Snake manages to recover, kicking Frankie away, saying, "Don't touch me, you oaf." Frankie, rubbing his noggin, says, "What gives? It already wore off?" Lilith explains, "Because it only grazed her." Oh no. Oh, this didn't go well. I ended up looking at the entire spread here. So, S-Snake puffs her cheeks up all pissy-like, and then fires off a laser blast, which Usopp and Lilith just barely managed to avoid, with Usopp saying, "Now she's mad." Frankie, having, I guess, grabbed the bubble that was launched, tries to slam it down on S-Snake. Well, it's kind of like he just taps her on the back of the head, and she immediately goes faint, and he just puts it on top of her, as he says, "How do you like that? Not so tough now, little girl." Words I never thought Frankie would say. Usopp and Lilith are both back up cheering, with Usopp saying, "Brilliant work, Frankie." Lilith says, "This bubblegum really works." And Frankie laughs, saying, "Give it up, you dumb brat." Oh no, she uses the puppy dog eyes. This really shows the deadliness of Boa Hancock, with S-Snake looking up at Frankie with tears in her eyes, saying, "But it hurts." And Frankie immediately blushes and says, "Oh no, sorry." And she uses Perfume Fumer, kicking Frankie with her Mero Mero or Love Love ability, turning him to stone, as Frankie's last words are, "No, not to stone." Oh, that's diabolical. I have to assume we get the Seraphim back on our side at some point, because once a Straw Hat is turned to stone, it's just like, okay, no, we have to convert them or turn them back to good or something at some point. Usopp freaks out, saying, Frankie's been petrified. That's bad. He could die. Lilith fires out her bubble gun again with multiple shots. But, well, now that S-Snake knows to avoid them at all costs, she just dives and ducks and weaves in between them, gets up right close to Lilith and Usopp, gives the cutest wink possible. Usopp and Lilith both blush at how cute it is, and S-Snake then uses the Love Love Mellow, or I guess it goes like this, and immediately turns them to stone. I feel so bad for Usopp, because while he has the hearts in his eyes while he's turned to stone, he also has tears running down and just like, well, dang it. Jeez. Wow. Man, our gang ended up with the worst situation. Jeebus. Oh, snap. What the heck is going on? Okay, we pick up in the old Devil Fruit research lab on the basement floor. So it's just in the basement of the labophage? Then again, Vegapunk has a tendency not to really look back at old inventions or old work. But we see Shaka walking down the stairs, and Shaka goes, huh, by what he sees, so Shaka's ruled out, especially by what I see next. With the Cypher Pole agents in the capsule saying, who's there? Are you the culprit? Let us out of here. Shaka's in bewilderment saying, he can't be. Are you the Cypher Pole agents who visited a while back? Why are you here? The agent in the capsule says, help us. I don't want to die. And even Vegapunk, who's in a completely separate tube, calls out Shaka. Shaka goes running over. Stella, so you were here. Who did this to you? I'm glad you're safe. I'll get you out. But Vegapunk then says, hey, Shaka, who came with you? And all Shaka can say is, pardon? And you hear the click of a gun, and Shaka is seemingly shot right through the head. Vegapunk calls out for Shaka. The Cypher Pole agents panic, saying, he's been shot. Who just did that? And as Shaka hits the ground, Shaka better not be dead. I freaking love Shaka. He's cool. I was really hoping he wasn't the culprit. But then, the figure who was up on the stairs, it feels like Shaka should have noticed them when he was coming down the stairs, but I guess not. And the figure slowly makes their way down the step, with Vegapunk having panic in his eyes. Who did it? Who did it? We don't know a lot of people who wield guns. That's the thing, too. Who wields guns? No one other than a Cypher Pole agent in most situations. It's not Stussy, is it? Because we didn't pick up with Stussy and Jinbei. But then again, there's also Atlas, Robin, and Chopper. Man, this is a Detective Conan level question. Because at this point, haven't all the satellites been attacked? You had Atlas attacked by Rob Lucci, then Pythagoras was attacked, although only his body was damaged, so he was the least worse for wear. York was turned to stone, Lilith was turned to stone, Edison was basically scrambled, and now Shaka's been shot. The only one who seemed to have the least amount of damage was Pythagoras, but there is a figure moving around in here. They had to actively shoot Shaka. But what clued Shaka in that Vegapunk would be down there? I guess because there was no way he could leave the labophage. So he's just like, well, I mean, if nobody's found him yet, there's only one other place he could be, and that's the basement. Man, I'm so curious. It's also weird that it's only the Boa Hancock Seraphim who talk. Like, all throughout this, she's the only one who talks. And she talks a lot. No. Because S-Bear said his attack. He said Ursasasha. So they'll call out their attacks. So maybe it's just because the others are just based off of very stoic people. I mean, Kuma's not really a talker, Mihawk's not really a talker, and Jinbei's not really a talker. So maybe if we had like a Doflamingo or Gecko Moria Seraphim, they probably talk a lot more. Interesting. And man, she seems to have some degree of personality, and the fact that she'll even play on Frankie's emotions like that, gee. And she has to be cutesy in order to get some people off guard. And the haughtiness with a pissy nature calling Frankie an oaf. Fascinating. Yeah, the Seraphim get me more and more curious every day. Sanji going up against Seraphim Jinbei, that should be interesting. I wonder how Jinbei's gonna feel about that in the long run. And I have to wonder, now that Luffy, Zoro, Kaku, and Lucci know how to deal with the Seraphim, or just Lunarians in general, will they have an easier time on taking these guys down? Because they were already looking pretty tired. They're just like, oh man, this has been a time, man. Well, there's been a lot in this chapter. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who could possibly it be? It had to be someone we're just not aware of. Someone who's just been lurking on this island. If it turns out to be Caribou or something, I'm gonna lose it. But other than that, I just can't think of who it could be. Oh, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who done it? What is the one truth that must be found? Let me know in the comments. Also remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on more One Piece. And until then, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.